You go on any, before we get into like, I guess you going into TikTok, because TikTok is what Musically was.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Did you go on any social media tours like we heard about all the other social media influencers?
Did.
Okay, gotcha.
I went on 2. The first one was kind of the first time that I experimented with music.
Mm-hmm.
I was 13 on my first tour, and it was interesting because it was sort of like a talent show. So kids would come because they wanted the meet and greet, right?
Yeah.
They didn't really care what you did on stage.
Gotcha.
But I took it as an opportunity to see what I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm just going to sing one song.
Yeah,
I sang
yeah.
Riptide by Vance Joy for 30
great song.
shows.
Yeah. Great choice.
I was a terrible singer. I was not good. But I loved it. And I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to sing.
Yeah.
She's like, what are you going to do? I'm going to sing. She's
Gotcha.
like, and my parents had never heard me sing really.
Okay.
So I went out, I did it, and I loved it. And then after that, I started writing music. But
Gotcha.
I also went on another one where I hosted it. So,
Okay.
Because at that point, after the first tour, I decided I wanted to actually make music.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, instead of just covering songs, I wanted to make original music and go on my own, do my own shows.
Gotcha.
So I just decided to host that one.
So
Gotcha.
When you were growing up, did you want to be like this big? You know, now, did you ever see yourself doing this, or did you
No.
have something else you wanted to do?
She's like, no, dude, it
No.
just started
Well, how
happening.
did that?
I
Like,
feel like my mom kind of manifested this for me. I have a really vivid memory of her and I being in the car. We were at the bottom of the hill leaving my house, and she looked at me in the car. I was 12. It was right before all of the Musically stuff happened. And she was like, you're going to be famous. And I was like,
Let's go.
oh God, I hope not. Like, I would hate that. I would
Oh.
hate people in my business. And I wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to be a forensic anthropologist. That was my dream. And she was like, no, it's going to happen. I just know it.
Yeah.
And then in the next couple of months it did. And then I loved it.
Yeah.
But I was so against it before I even knew what it was like.
Right.
exactly.
So your mom was managing you then, and then you go.
Kind of.
Okay, gotcha.
She wasn't necessarily managing me. She was never a stage mom.
Uh-huh.
She just kind of saw how much I love performing, and I was always, I've always had a lot of, not insecurities, but I've a lot of self-doubt, and I think that sort of made it difficult for me to ever think that I could do
Gotcha.
anything like this.
Gotcha.
But she saw something that I didn't,
Gotcha.
because I was a cheerleader and I did all kinds of, I just loved to perform.
Yeah.
And, you know, from an outsider perspective, I'm sure she saw that, but
Gotcha.
I never did.
So then let's talk about getting out to LA at such a young age with your mother, I guess. Where did, I guess you guys didn't stay at any content houses or anything like that
No.
we've seen? Yeah, like you're just staying out here. And then how does it go into like, okay, I obviously had this following on social media and then I want to be a musician, like for real, for real.
I feel like for me, it's never truly been a transition. There have been milestones that I feel like the music side of my career is built. But I don't think that I've ever really wanted to transition away from social media into music. I just
Gotcha.
wanted to make music a facet of my career because I
Gotcha.
love it. So I don't know. I just kind of started building the music the way that I was building the social media presence, and it's something that I enjoy doing.
So take us through
Gotcha.
getting with a record label. Kind of how did that come about? Are you out there kind of searching for a label at that point once you want to do the music, or is it kind of just, I'm going to do this and whoever comes to me, it is what it is?
kind of. I went to the UK when I was 15 and I did a bunch of writing sessions. And my ex-boyfriend, my boyfriend at the time, he was an artist and I watched him and I would go to his sessions and I wanted to do it really bad.
Yeah.
And I was so jealous. So at that time, I was managed by his manager as well.
Gotcha.
And I was like, please get me in a room just with the people that he works with.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see if I was any good at it.
Yeah.
And I'd always written poetry, but I had never put myself out there as a songwriter. So it was cool to, sort of finally have my moment where I could try it.
Yeah.
And it went really well. And then we took those songs when we got back to LA, and that manager wanted to look for a deal.
Gotcha.
And obviously, like, my parents aren't in the entertainment industry. I'm from Pennsylvania, so we were navigating it. We were putting a lot of faith in people who were telling us what the right moves were. And they thought that, a record deal was the best next move for me. So we did. I signed with Virgin Capital, and it didn't turn out the best,
Yeah.
but I learned a lot from it.